Hello there, thanks so much for tuning in. So I'm Tim and this is my Carbon Coach channel, all about allotment life, eco living, all of that kind of good stuff. Today's video plan is kind of hampered by the weather. It's a little bit nasty, like I've got my coat on, I've even got my hat on, but yeah, the plan is to try and sort out this back area here. So to orientate you, that's my shed, and sort of behind yourselves looking at me, all of my veg beds. But running along the back here, I've got some currant bushes, so red and white bushes. However, I don't know if you can make out, but they are looking rather in a sorry state. So last year I got some really good produce from them. However, I ended up sharing a lot of it with the birds. So I'm also going to try and do something about that this year as well, so that I get a few more currants for myself. I made some red currant gin for my wife and our friends, and one of my friends also made some like cordial syrup kind of thing out of it. I also made some absolutely kick-ass scones, red currant scones. Yeah, they were really good. But yeah, I'm on the hunt for some more recipes, maybe like a pie or something like that, to put them in. So basically I need all of the currants that I can get hold of. So yeah, we're going to be basically dealing with that. Before we get into that though, I just wanted to quickly divert back to my house. So on my last video I got a request as to how my chilies were getting on back at home, and they're actually doing really well. I think it's the first year that I've ever grown chilies. So the first one that I've got is Apache chilies, and these were the sort of kits that I got at Christmas from the South Devon chili farm, and these are doing amazing as far as I can tell, and they're actually starting to produce little baby chilies. So yeah, super chuffed with those. The ones that I'm growing from seed that I sowed just from a packet that I'd got from Sutton's, I think it was, some of them are doing really well and looking quite good. Some of them are looking a bit small, but so far none of them have died, which I'm classing as a result, and they're all looking quite good. So you never know, by the end of the summer I might have some habaneros and some lemon drop chilies out of these remaining ones. So yeah, that was a little bit of chili talk, but right now we're just going to dig right into here, and yeah, you can see that it is completely overgrown with grasses. It's just shot through. I dread to think what's underneath it as well. I think there was a little bit of bindweed under there last year, so I'm just going to basically do my best to sort it out. So as you can see, this is the before, and yeah, there's just tall grasses running all the way through it. It's just, yeah, it's shot to pieces. There's some beautiful currants growing in it as well, but yeah, it's just all over the place and it's kind of being pushed out, and behind me there's a pathway that runs between myself and my neighbour's plot, so I really need to get that sorted out. These currants are looking amazing, they're just coming on so well. So yeah, basically it's it's a three-pronged attack. Need to clean it all up, need to stop it from leading into the path towards my neighbours, and I need to try and do something plastic-free to deter the birds from eating the fruit. So first thing to do is to tidy it all up, and I reckon I can do that with a little bit of movie magic. There we go. So the currants are now free from grass and any kind of sort of tangly weeds that were going on in here. So that's one job definitely done, and yeah, they're looking fantastic. The red ones are really starting to get their colour. Some of them are looking quite juicy and ripe already. So yeah, that's that job done. It is raining. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, so I need to protect you guys as the camera and get you out of the actual rain. So I'm going to quickly get on with the next part, which is constructing some kind of teepee. I bought some massive bamboo the other day from B&Q, so gonna make some kind of structure to go over this that will look quite natural, bind it together, and then I'll come back and show you what I'm doing about the birds. So what I've just done is tied some jute string to the bottom of my new teepees and kind of run it around the bottom. I've only done it once so far because running out of jute, of course, poor planning. But yeah, the plan is to sort of tie it up a few times to keep everything growing in a generally upwards direction rather than a spread out direction. So that solved the weeding problem and the encroaching out of where they're supposed to be issue. The next thing that I was trying to figure out was how to stop the birds from eating everything, and the most obvious one is fruit netting. Tiny little sort of squares of net. However, that's pretty much purely plastic. I looked as hard as I could and couldn't find very many eco-friendly alternatives. There was wire mesh, but I don't particularly want to introduce that kind of like industrialized feel to the plot. It's all very sort of wood and natural, so that wasn't going to work. So then I came up with the idea of jute netting, but unfortunately most of the sort of net that's made out of sort of string and stuff, the squares are actually quite wide, and so that would have stopped birds, wouldn't have stopped birds getting in, but might have stopped them getting out. So that wouldn't have been any good, wouldn't have been very safe for the wildlife, and wouldn't have basically been fit for purpose. Then, whilst I was searching for that, I came across, I don't know if you've seen them, they're kind of like a foot long, they're like a strip, and then they're kind of like twisty, so then they kind of twist in the wind, and that kind of reflective and movement is meant to scare the birds away. I looked and looked to see if there were any metal ones of those. I thought metal would be great, but no, they're all PVC or plastic and that kind of stuff, so that idea went out the window. And then CDs, it came to me. So I went on eBay, found myself a load of secondhand CDs and DVDs, like CD-ROMs, and I did film it, but for some reason the camera decided not to record it. But I've strung up a load of them across the top of my wigwam kind of structure, and basically because I've run out of jute, like I've just mentioned, I haven't been able to do too many. However, it's up and it kind of gives you an idea as to the sort of style that I'm going for. So these are all happily swinging away in the wind. Some of them, when I get more string, I'm going to sort of attach two in a row to. Some of them are just going to be sort of one long one, etc. But yeah, that is basically what I've done. So there we have it. Rain is pretty much stopping play. It is miserable. It's been fairly miserable all weekend, unfortunately. Hopefully you've managed to, if you have an allotment, get out and about and do some various bits. So I've still got, as you can see, quite a fair bit to carry on recovering towards the back. It's like Poppy Central. They look so beautiful, but they're going to have to come out. But I've done a reasonable amount so far. I'll see how the weather goes. I might carry on doing a little bit of that, but the main thing I wanted to do for this week was to tidy up around the bottom of the currants, so I'm not impinging onto my neighbour and sort of causing any aggro with them, and yeah, start looking into ways of protecting it. So I thought the CD thing, spinning mobile, it's quite cool actually. Actually, what I could do is on the back of them, sort of where it's already been printed with what's on the disc, if I spray that, then I could paint them blue and white actually, and then it would all tie in with the allotment and everything. So that might be a project for whilst it's wet like this. Anyway, yeah, thanks ever so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, there's a few ways that you can do that for free. Liking the video is a major one. Sharing the video with your friends, maybe you're in a Facebook group about allotmenteering, anything like that. So sharing the video really helps with sort of reach and engagement. Hitting that subscribe button if you're not already. So yeah, those are all fantastic ways, and I'd be ever so grateful if you were to do all three of them, or even just one of them. The other way that you can support the channel is by becoming a patron, just like these lovely people have, and that's basically sort of a monthly way that you can help support me to carry on doing what I'm doing up here at the allotment with Tidy Up Taunton, the Eco Book Club, and sort of my carbon coach in general, and all of that busyness. Anyway, I'm going to sign off because I'm getting rained on here, and yeah, I want to go home and have some breakfast and warm up a little bit. So until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of your plots, have a fantastic week. Cheers everyone.